So yesterday we have seen this diagram. In this diagram, we have understood, okay, that this is a CI/CD model. This model is meant for something this kind of an architecture, where I told that we can take an example of a car manufacturing, the car manufacturing unit, okay, where starting from the parts manufacture, it will go down and then it will go to assembly unit where it will be assembled and shipped to a server. Server is nothing but a showroom where your customers will come and buy. If there is less customers and you have just started it, you will have only one showroom, right? Like Tesla came to India. You know we don't have much Tesla, we don't have much customers in India, right? So they have opened in Bangalore. Now if Tesla feels that okay, we have more market, if they understand that they have more market in India, they will open their showroom each and every place in India, right? Like Maruti. Okay, a lot of places they will open. So as the customer base will increase, your showrooms will increase. This is what we have understood. Similarly, we will put this architecture into IT world. Multiple developers will create multiple code based on modules. They will push it to GitHub, which is remote code repo. Okay, a remote code repo. There will be two repo. One is local repo, one is remote repo. Okay, local go down, remote go down. Correct? Local go down to the unit, which I have explained. So we have discussed this architecture in detail yesterday. And then I told that if my users are increasing, we will have to increase this servers as well, which will be done by which architecture? With the help of Chef or Ansible. Because Jenkins will not be able to do this. Jenkins will require a third party like Ansible or Chef to configure the nodes. Here in this architecture, there was only one server. So we have only configured two servers. Okay, we will also configure. Three, we will do. If there are 200, servers, it is not possible to configure by ourselves. We'll need some automation to do that. That automation, okay, will be given will be achieved by Ansible or Chef. So this is the architecture which we have to understand as per our configuration management. Here everything is sequential. Once you have done it, okay, one thing you will reuse these things sequentially. Okay, we'll have to do these things multiple times so that we can understand or get a feel that yes, we are real life practitioners. Okay, so now let's come to our today's agenda. This was all about whatever we have discussed yesterday. Today there are few more architectures which we'll be discussing later, okay, in detail, which are microservice architectures. We'll discuss that later. For now, as we have less time, what we will do, we will be going and understanding this particular project. We'll start with this project. So if you remember, I've shown you this diagram. So let me draw this again. Okay. So some of you might be a complete fresher, okay, what I am anticipating. Okay, so listen to it very carefully. Think that today is your first day in your office. Yeah? Today is your first day. Or those who have joined today, think that this is your first day in office. You have joined. Your mentor is explaining, because our program is mentorship program, which I have told yesterday. It's a mentorship program. We all will be in plot. We all are working for Infosys. Think like this. I'm a mentor for you, and you will be You have joined the company as a fresher. Just unlearn things, whatever you have learned, and I will be filling up new things in your brain. Okay. We say, right, unlearn to learn new things. This is the process. So now our first project, okay, as a mentor, I am explaining our first project which we have got from Flipkart, suppose, because we all are working for this project. Okay, is this, what is this? Migration of a web application from on-premise to cloud. That's the reason I told all of you yesterday to create an AWS account. Some folks are saying they were deducted 2 rupees. Yes, 2 rupees will be deducted, but then that will come back to your account. Don't worry. Okay, it will be back to your credit card 2 rupees once you see your statement. They will not take that 2 rupees from you. Okay, so this project says that I have a running website which is suppose flipkart.com. Okay, or let us have not have Flipkart. Why to have lwplabs.com? This is my website. Okay, this website lwplabs.com. This is our first website, which is a static website. Think this is a static website which is there. Now this static website, which is lwplabs.com, is running in on-premise data center. Okay, on-premise data center. What do you mean by on-premise? We'll focus on all these things. So what do you mean by first data center? We need to understand this. Data center. This is on-premise. Something on-premise means in my home, inside, okay, in my premise. Okay, on-premise data center. First of all, understand what is data center. Start from scratch, guys. Okay, these are data center images. If you have seen any data center, that's good. If you have not seen, see it. I'm giving you an opportunity. This kind of a data center will be there. A server room. Okay, might be you have studied in your childhood days in any school, like, or in college, you will be having a server room. People will say, no, do not go server room, warning. Okay, so server room is like a place where a lot of computers will be there. Okay, and like this, don't think computer means always there will be a UI or a monitor. Okay, this is computer. In a rack we will insert, okay, a lot of wires, this kind of things will be there. Now this is your on-premise. To manage this place will be managed by you, and this place will be leased by you, this land where this particular thing will be done. These computers are purchased by you. Who will purchase? You. Suppose Dell company, Dell is giving you this service. Okay, all these things are but done by you only. So what is data center aerial image? If you go and see, these are the aerial images. Means, you know that maybe you are an Indian based company and you have a lot of money, Reliance. What you will do, you will buy a land or lease a land, you will create this kind of building which will not have a single window. If you are in Hyderabad, go near Oracle office, there will be a data center. You can easily see your data center. Okay, means the data center is there, there will be no board here, nothing. It will be a very secure place. Okay, this kind of a data center. Inside this, those servers will be there, the one which I have shown you. This it is cost involved, right? It is all owned by you. That is called on premise. Your own data center means on premise, or home data center means on premise. So that means capex means capital expense, and opex is yours. The operational expense and the capital expense both is yours. Means you will only purchase this land, you will only purchase this server, and all these things you will only do. So now if a customer types lwplabs.com in a browser, this is browser, okay, this is browser, customer types lwplabs.com, he will reach to this server, this browser, this domain will reach to this server. How will it reach? This is called domain. You have to understand all these things because I am considering you are fresher. I'm explaining all this. Maybe some people will find this is very silly. Okay, so just be there. It will accelerate very fast. Okay, domains. This is domain. How will you purchase a domain? From GoDaddy. You will go to GoDaddy. You will search a domain here, whatever domain you want, and you will buy it. They will give you just a name, a domain, but then your website is running here, right? How will it run here? You will configure it. You as a DevOps engineer will log into this server and will install all these applications. Okay, so our application is developed in Node.js. Okay, so we will install Node.js and everything. We will be doing configuring this particular server. Then this is you, DevOps engineer, who is doing. And then this server is up and running. This server will be having one IP. It will not be comma. Okay. Dot. The server will have an IP address. IP address is a unique, okay, number through which you can actually identify one device in internet, okay, or in intranet. Any device will have IP address. My laptop will have an IP address. Your mobile will have an IP address. Go in your laptop, type what is my IP. If you type what is my IP, see, you will get an IP address. This is your IP. In internet, I have this IP. Similarly, you also will have an IP. This server will also have an IP. Okay. So this guy, customer, types a domain in a browser, hits this server. So we need to understand this flow. How a domain is resolved to an IP address. Okay. So there is something called DNS. DNS, which is domain name servers. Okay. This domain name service we have to give IP. And so we will, this DNS will be owned by GoDaddy, Google, AWS. Everybody will have their own DNS. So you want to update, suppose GoDaddy's DNS. GoDaddy, once you purchase the domain, GoDaddy will allow you to update the DNS. You will update the DNS. You will give this IP address. This IP address is a public IP, okay? Because you are public. You are outside this on-premise data center. You are not inside. You are outside. You are in internet. You are connecting to Wi-Fi. Okay, and you are in internet. Because you are in internet, we will. You are an outsider for this on-premise. Okay, if you are in intranet, means suppose this server wants to connect to this server, there will be two IPs for any server. Okay, if this server wants to connect to this server, it will use private IP. If outside people wants to connect to this server, they will use public IP. So every server here will have private IP, that is must. But maybe this server is running a website which is an internal website, like your finance or HR related website. In company, HR related website will be internal website. So why will I expose this to outside? No, right? Somebody here only will open. Some customer here only will open this. This customer is maybe HR. He is opening a browser. He is in intranet. She connected using VPN. Okay, and she is opening this HR. So I don't require a public IP for it. But for this, I require a public IP. Okay, these architectures are getting clear, right? There are two kind of DNS. One is global DNS, one is local DNS. Local DNS. We call it sometimes local host file also. Okay, so we will see this host file. Now you have this current architecture in on-premise. This server is a 2005 model. Okay, and given by Dell. Now it is 2020. Your server is getting expired. Dell is saying, boss, I will not support it. I will not give you extended warranty. You move it to cloud. Okay.